Hello everyone, today we'll be going through the Specialist Math 1 and 2 mini quiz for week 2. So for these type of questions, it's always good to draw a diagram. So I'll actually show the answers first. Yep, and cool, let's go. So for question 1, our boat sells 11. So I guess so my diagram's on the screen, but I'll still go through how I drew it anyway, I guess. So first we know the boat sails 11 kilometers from a harbor bearing of 220 degrees. So if we draw I guess you can kind of interpret this as a compass, then a bearing of 220 would be here with an angle 40 here, right? Because this here is 180. So 180 plus 40 is 220. So we know that, say the boat starts at this point, it will go this direction for 11 kilometers. So this length here is 11. Then we arrive at the point where we're gonna turn and traveling a bearing of 340 degrees. So let's draw another, I guess, compass here. And 340, notice the whole revolution is 360. So the 340 would just be this direction with an angle of 20, right? Because we're only traveling 20 backwards, which is the same as 340 degrees forward. And keep in mind, I want to add something while we're here. Notice how if this angle here is 40 degrees, this angle here would also be 40 degrees as these two lines are parallel. So we can kind of say that this whole angle here is 60 degrees basically. Anyway, so we will continue this line for, I guess, 15. And basically that's where the boat finishes. Again, so this diagram here is quite similar to this one. So, and then what I did is I kind of extracted the information we need. So we know this angle is 60, we know this is 15 and this is 11, and we want to know how far is the boat from the harbor, right? So the harbor is original starting point, which is here. And basically in this case, we have a triangle and we're going to work out what x is. And this is a application of the cosine rule, right? So cosine rule lets us work out anything in a triangle if we have two sides and the angle between it, basically. So general cosine rule, a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine of capital A, which means angle A. And in this case, x squared is the side we need to work out. So x squared equals to the two other sides squared minus the two other side times together times 2 times the opposite angle. So x squared equals to 15 squared plus 11 squared minus 2 times 15 times 11 times cosine 60. And after we evaluate this, we get x squared is 181 and x is square root of 181. Don't forget the units, which is kilometers. So that's for the first question. And the second question really kind of tests my drawing skills here. So this diagram might look a bit complicated for now, but let me quickly just simplify it a bit. So if we see that it's we're looking from a cliff top of 11 meters, right? So this is the height of the cliff. So this is the 11 here indicating like the cliff is 11 meters tall. And it says two boats are observed, one with angle depression of 45 and the other one is 30. So remember, angle of depression is when we are looking down. So if this is an angle depression of 45, then we know that this angle is 45 because that's a right angle, right? So with the same logic, if this is 30, then we know this angle here is 60. So I kind of just skipped that step and wrote these values straight away here. So 45 and 60. So let's highlight the first triangle. The first triangle, I'll use maybe red so that's easier to see. So the first triangle is this one here. And it kind of looks like this. Well, first, we don't know this is 11 yet, but we know this is a right angle, and we know that angle of a triangle adds to 180. So we know this has to be 45 as well, saying this is going to be an isosceles triangle. Therefore, if one side is 11, that means the other side must be 11. So we can fill this in. So the second triangle is this one here. And again, it has a height of 11, and we know the angle above is 60. Therefore, we can, so this is, I guess, the opposite of the angle. This is the adjacent. So we use tangent. So tangent 60 is equal to opposite over adjacent, which is 11. Then we know opposite is 11 root 3. So now we have those two triangles. We can kind of fill in the sides here, right? So we want to work out the distance between these two boats, and we know this length is 11, this length is square root of 3. So the final step is to, I guess, if we can work out this angle here, then we can use the cosine rule, right? So the way to work out this angle is, if you think about this, if we think about a compass, right? The first boat is due east. So east is just this length here. And the second boat is on a bearing of 120 degrees, which is here, which as this is right 90 degrees and 90 plus 30 is 120 degrees, right? So we know the angle between is 30 degrees, which we can get this triangle here, and that's x, which is the side we want to work out. So this will be similar to the first question. We use the cosine rule, and we will get x squared is 121 and x is 11 meters. So the boats are 11 meters apart of each other. Cool. So that's the solutions to these two questions. Let me know on WeChat if there's any other further questions. Other than that, I'll see you next week.